Hello there, and welcome back. Well, guess what? Cars 3 is coming out! Heck yeah! As you can tell, I am excited to see Cars 3. Why, you may ask? Because ever since the first movie came out, I was a huge fan of the world of Radiator Springs. Just like how I'm a huge fan of Pixar movies. You see, I grew up with Pixar movies ever since I was a kid. When I was a young lad, I would always watch Toy Story or Toy Story 2. Toy Story was and still is one of my favorite movies of all time. Pixar is a good movie studio. They have a plethora of good movies. And even though Pixar is a great movie studio, they did make one mistake, and that mistake is Cars 2. Yeah, Cars 2 was a movie that nobody was impressed with. It is possibly one of the worst movie sequels of all time. The first Cars movie, well, it was kind of meh with the older audiences, but Cars 2, nobody was impressed with it. So hopefully Cars 3 will be a lot better than the awful movie that is Cars 2. In fact, I've seen trailers and promo pics of Cars 3 and they looked great. I especially love the quote where Cruz Ramirez, of course, gets... where Cruz Ramirez buries herself inside the sand and says, "The beach ate me." It's a great quote, isn't it? Yeah. I'm not going to leave out any spoilers, but from what I can tell from the trailers, Cars 3 is about, well, this new rookie racer called Jackson Storm, and well, I thought his name was Jetson Storm, but no, it's Jackson Storm. I looked it up. Yeah, this new rookie racer comes in, and of course, Lightning McQueen is not what he used to be. After a horrible crash, he's no longer famous. But hopefully, he'll rise up to the challenge, just like Rocky. And yes, Rocky is a good series of movies. I do like all of the Rocky movies, even Rocky 4. Alright. Enough talk about Cars 3. What are we here to talk about? Well, this is a feature called Cars Wednesdays. And that means every Wednesday I would take a look at a piece of Cars related media. That includes the movies and even the video games. And I would see if the world of Radiator Springs has brought us some good video games. Come on. In case you were wondering, no. I no longer have my old office chair. It's gone. You will be missed, office chair. The office chair I am sitting on is the one that used to be in my bedroom all the time. When it replaced the black office chair that eventually broke for some reason. Yeah, the black one's a cheap office chair. Not much to say. It's a pretty good office chair. It's lasted a while. And it's gotten some good use out of it. Alright, so our journey begins on Cars for the Game Boy Advance. And, as an added bonus, I decided that I would go through the story mode. There's not much to see here. It's just a plain old Game Boy Advance cartridge. I don't have the box that comes with it. Alright, so let's fasten our seat belts, turn the keys, so we can get the car started, and step on the gas, because our journey begins here. Before you ask, no, I don't have a Game Boy player. And for those of you who don't know what the Game Boy player is, it's basically just an attachment for the GameCube that allows it to play Game Boy Advance games. But it doesn't play the Game Boy Advance movie cartridges because of an anti-piracy measure or something like that. So, you're gonna have to get used to this style of recording the game. Let's turn the ignition. Oh. Gotta blow on the game cartridge. There we go. Yeah. Press start. New game. So, the story in this game begins with Lightning McQueen going to sleep. Because he ended up in the Cozy Cone Motel in Radiator Springs. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything for those of you who haven't seen the first Cars movie yet. Go see it, because it's a pretty good movie. Actually, Cars is a polarized movie because some people like it, some people hate it. Yeah. Story begins with Lightning McQueen and Sally Carrera. The blue car. Which is a pretty good looking car, by the way. Oh, and speaking of good looking female cars, I'm gonna bring up a new feature called Carsified Waifu of the Week. Which means I'll bring up a Cars version of a specific female character from a video game. And I'll be posting it regularly on my blog in the Racer Cinema Productions Wix site. Here's the link. Go there. Recommend you to go check out my site because it's got a pretty creative layout. Oh, sounds like Lightning McQueen's ready for competition. Because it's a race car. He's a stock car. And its design is kind of interesting because mixes a stock car with the curvy lines of a sports car. I've never been able to figure out what he was supposed to be based on. It's sort of interesting. Alright. What should we do first? Doc's Challenge or Drive-In? Alright, let's do Doc's Challenge. What's up, Doc? Yeah. Anybody who's seen Looney Tunes knows what that quote is. Alright, should we select Lightning McQueen? Oh, can only select Lightning McQueen for the moment. Alright, so this story, this part of the game begins with Lightning McQueen challenging Doc Hudson to a race. And yeah, that's what he's called in the Cars movie, Doc Hudson, because of the Hudson Hornets. He's voiced by Paul Newman or Ryan Newman, can't remember, but he died, and the character, I guess, died with him, which is interesting. Alright, so the first thing you're gonna notice is that the graphics look pretty tight for Game Boy Advance standards, and there's a reason for that. Oh, can't talk while I play the game. This game was released in 2006. Yeah. 2006. Yeah, by then, when this game was released, nobody was interested. And here's why. I'm pretty sure that everybody, of course, has moved on to the Nintendo DS, myself included. And there was little interest to get a game on an obsolete piece of hardware. It's like releasing a Sega Genesis game in 1999. There was no reason to release something on the Game Boy Advance this late. Well, I'm pretty sure there are some people that still play Game Boy Advance. In fact, I still play it because, well, I usually play the WarioWare games on Game Boy Advance, and I do like those games, by the way. But what I'm trying to say here is that by the time the PlayStation Portable and Nintendo DS came out, there was little interest in the Game Boy Advance, thus deeming it obsolete. Oh yeah! Alright, so we're gonna rapid fire through the story, the parts of the story. Oop. Alright, so the second race that we're gonna do is Drive-In. Oh, that's just the screenshots for the game. Unlockable extras. Alright, the actual second race we're gonna do is Radiator Springs to Tailfin Pass. Oh, and we're right in the game. One thing that you'll notice in this game is that the computer opponent that you race against is, well, pretty slow. which makes the game way too freaking easy. Yeah, they even bothered to give the computer opponent good programming. And yeah, I know, most people say AI. I mean, most game reviewers say AI, but I usually come up with different gamer lingos, though. And what do we think about the game? It's average, to say it best. Not as impressive as GT Advance. The GT Advance games are top gear for the Game Boy Advance. I've pretty much seen, like, better Game Boy Advance games and played them. Those games are great. Alright, so next up is King's Challenge. What, are we gonna race against a Cars version of King Arthur? Cause that would be awesome. Yeah. I forgot to explain that the controls of the game are not the greatest, but I've seen worse driving controls, like Sega GT for the Sega Dreamcast. I couldn't even control like a single. I could barely control a single rear-wheel drive car in that game, or front-wheel drive. It's like trying to control one of those like Eastern European cars, the ones from the the ones from the 60s and 70s that look like boxes. Alright, let's go. King's Challenge. We got a new color, Ferrari yellow. Alright, so, well, I did not get challenged by a Cars version of King Arthur, but a Cars version of Richard Petty, who is known as the King. Or, can't remember what his name is. I'm thinking maybe like Trip Brothers or Steve Brothers or something like that. He definitely does have a name, though. And he has like a wife. Just like how Richard Petty has a wife in real life, and just supposedly based on the Chrysler Town & Country station wagon. Interesting fun fact for you guys. Alright, so we're going to race against a Plymouth Superbird named Mr. Weathers. And I don't think it's a Dodge Daytona, I think it's a Plymouth Superbird. Ooh. We're racing against a faster car here, but the computer opponent is still not the greatest. In fact, Doc Hudson was an old Hudson Hornets. But how does like a Plymouth Superbird manage to outperform a NASCAR? A stock car from the modern era. But left him in the dust though. Oh, he's on my tail. Oh, hit into a wall. Don't worry, we can catch up. Yeah, I've seen harder races than Ridge Racer Type 4. And in case you're wondering, yes, the king himself is voiced by Richard Petty. Pretty cool, isn't it? Alright. Next up is the Miss Ravine to Radiator Springs. Alright, we got another paint job, a blue paint job. Yeah, these colors are pretty much a palette swap of the same paint job. Nothing too special. Oh. Next up is Radiator Cap Circuit. Wait a minute, it's just the same freaking paint job. Repeat it. And that is usually a bad sign when you repeat, like, the same paint job or an other item in the video game over and over. Yeah. They probably rushed this game out in order to meet with demands with the movie. Alright. Let's pick red. Oh, and I was gonna tell you something like relate to Transformers. Our idea has nothing to do with cars. Yeah, you see, if because Lightning McQueen is red, that means that Sideburn will be chasing after him because of his color. And yes, Sideburn likes red sports cars. And for those of you who don't know who Sideburn is, he's the most annoying character in RID. Even Diamond Bolt doesn't like him. There you go, that's all I need to explain, and he transforms into a Dodge Viper. It's the only thing I like about Sideburn, his alt mode, because it's so cool. It's like a cool car. A Dodge Viper, man. Who doesn't like the Dodge Viper? It's a cool sports car. Yeah. This portion of the story, of course, has Lightning McQueen race against Vader. Yeah. Lightning McQueen racing against a tow truck voiced by Larry Cable Guy. It's not going to be a very well race, man. Because a tow truck is slow. And Vader wouldn't even stand a chance against, like, a stock car. Unless if he has that modification in Tokyo Mater. Then he would stand a chance against Lightning McQueen. Shoot, I didn't know you had a middle name. Yeah, I'm trying to imitate Larry the Cable Guy's voice. Not the best impression. Well, I don't really have a middle name. Doc, you explain it to him. It's showtime. Wait a minute, you copied that quote from Beetlejuice! It's the quote that Beetlejuice usually says. It's showtime. It's one of my favorite quotes in the movie, by the way. And Beetlejuice is a pretty good movie. Lightning, Focus, McQueen. Now that's a darn pretty name. Yeah. Not the best impression of Lightning. Oh, we're actually racing against other cars. And Chick Hicks. Yeah, that green car is Chick Hicks, and he's voiced by Michael Keaton. The same actor who's known for playing as Beetlejuice, and Batman in the first two live-action Batman movies, directed by Tim Burton. And I do like Tim Burton's movies. I'm just not a huge fan of his reimaginings, that's all. After we have beaten Chick Hicks and other stock cars in that race, we decide to challenge him again in Chick's Challenge. And here's a fun fact of Chick Hicks. Chick Hicks is a 1979 Shyster Kremlin, spelled with C, by the way. A car that doesn't exist in real life, but he is based on the 1987 Buick Grand National. And yes, that car was actually raced in NASCAR. That was before they implemented restrictor plates in Daytona and Talladega. Especially like the Buick Grand National GNX, because it's black and it looks like something that Darth Vader would drive. Luke, I am your father. Yeah, that's my Darth Vader impression. Alright, let's go. Hopefully we don't get hit by Thunder Kachika. Oh, and it turns out that color there is actually slightly different from the other one because it's sort of orangish. Yeah, I've discovered that. Hey, Chickster, what are you doing out there, man? Though I might try out a few things I've learned. Oh, you went back to school. Good for you, Chick. Maybe you'll even graduate this time. Education is so important. Yeah, it is. Hey, Mr. Educated, you get ready? You ready to get schooled? Because you'll get hit with a chance of Thunder Kachika. Alright, next up is Ornament Valley to Willie's Butte. Wait a minute, I didn't expect you to come in. Well, I just thought I'd drop by. Oh, it's nice that you came, by the way. And I do welcome any guest appearance. Well, I just thought I'd drop in because I wanted you to say hi to that girl that I ejected from my driver's seat. What's her name again? Kelly! Just thought I'd let you say hi to Kelly. Oh, yeah. There's something I have to tell you, X-Brawn. I used to like Kelly, but I have a new waifu now. Her name is Mona. Who's Mona? Mona is a character from the WarioWare games. Look, she wears different outfits, but the outfit that she usually wears is like a sleeveless top, a mini skirt, a jacket, and a biker helmet, and she has orange hair. And there's also another female character that I like in the WarioWare games. Her name is Ashley. Who's Ashley? She's a witch. She wears like a red dress, a red sleeved dress, and has like a skull on that sleeved dress, and has huge pigtails, and has like spiky things, orange spiky things on the top, and has like black stockings and wears red sneakers. But that being said, she is a better witch than Bayonetta. Darn right! And I also like Penny Krygor. Who's Penny Krygor? She's a scientist girl who has orange hair, wears glasses, usually wears like either a lab coat or a pink jacket, wears black tights and pink boots. Yeah. Neither of these characters have bad luck like Kelly does. So, yeah, it's nice that you come by. Alright, so let's proceed with the review. What's this game you're playing, by the way? It's Cars for the Gameboy Advance. And the main character is Lightning McQueen. Well, yeah, I think I've heard about Cars before. Sideburn told me about the Cars movie. And he said he wanted to chase around Lightning McQueen. Because he's red, that's right. Alright. Carry on. Next up is North Desert Dash. Well, to be fair with you, I wouldn't mind driving in the desert myself. Well, I could transform. But I just didn't feel like it though. Thought I would just like stay in my vehicle mode for the majority of this video. In order to keep with the Cars theme. Okay, whatever. North Desert Dash. Yeah, we're driving around in the desert. Yeah, I don't think a stock car would do well in the desert roads, to be honest with you. Well, I could do better because I got all-wheel drive and I'm a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Yeah, whatever. Alright, what should we do next? Alright, next up is the Piston Cup. Well, gotta go. Because I gotta pick up Kelly-san. Yeah, I could stay with you, but I don't have much time. Alright, see ya. Alright, X-Braun is gone. Let's continue with the review. Alright, we're racing in Palm Mile Speedway. I think it's like based on Homestead. You know, Homestead, Miami. Hence the name. Oh, we're challenged by Chick Hicks. Lightning. Ah, hello, Chick. Check it out. I just got my tail lights replaced. So, big deal. Well, you know, I just figured that you might like to get an acquainted with the view. You know what I mean? You know, because you're gonna be spending a lot of time behind. Me, in the race, we're gonna be in the race. I'll be ahead of you, and you'll be behind me. In the race. The taillights? Is it me? It is. What are we not getting here? You are so driven, Chick. I love that about you. Hey you, back to your pit. Stop bugging my driver. You ready, Lightning? Yeah, that's the best, Mr. Newman impression I can find. Sorry about that. Remember, Lightning, this is a Piston Cup race. Don't forget to draft your opponents. To draft, tuck in behind another car and build up your draft meter, and then move to the side and press the R trigger for a burst of speed. Alright, let's race. Racing on an oval track this time. Though it's gonna be 6 laps long, so might as well skip ahead. Next up is Ornament Valley Circuit. Alright, let's go for blue this time. Oh! We're challenged by Chick Hicks again. Well, Chick, you'll never be as fast as Lightning because you want to know what comes after thunder? Lightning. Lightning, thunder always comes after lightning, man. Everybody knows that. Or I should say it like, thunder always comes after lightning, ka-chow! Yeah, I love that quote, ka-chow! Now, here's an unlikely versus battle for you, Lightning McQueen versus Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, imagine a race car going up against a steam engine. That would be so surreal, wouldn't it? Next up is the Piston Cup again. I can't believe we're doing like yet another Piston Cup race already. But this time, it takes place in the Motor Speedway of the South, which is supposed to be like a reference to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which of course is well known for the Indianapolis 500, or the Indy 500 as most people call it. Alright, let's go race on the good old Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Oh! We're meeting up with Mac this time. And in case you're wondering who Mac is, he is a character who is voiced by John Ratzenberger, the same guy who does the voice for a lot of characters in Pixar movies, including Ham from Toy Story. And he also played as one of the lesser-known characters in one of the Star Wars movies. One of the older ones, not the prequels. Alright, Mac, we've got a race to win. Yeah. Well, faster than fast, quicker than quick. I am Lightning. I had to bring that out of the way. Alright, so we're racing along on the good old Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Oh! That's not fair. Well, he got a taste of his own medicine by going into the grass. I do have to say, even though it's 6 laps long, the laps are really short. It's even shorter than the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in real life. Yeah. You know what I want to see? I would like to see Mona from the WarioWare series, like, race around in a Dallara IndyCar, powered by a Honda engine. But who would sponsor the car, though? It would have to be sponsored by Mona Pizza. And who would be the crew chief? The crew chief would probably have to be Manager Joe. Yeah. But it would be nice to see her use a vehicle other than a scooter. Alright. Looks like we're gonna win the race, and I forgot to explain the drafting ability. You see, whenever you draft, you gain a speed boost. This is nothing at all like the drafting ability in the NASCAR games, where if you go behind a car, you would go faster. And in NASCAR Thunder 2004, it can be used as a way to make allies. I mean, friends on the racetrack, that's what I like to call them. Oh! Second place! Chick Hicks is a dirty little bugger, isn't he? But don't worry, we're gonna jump cut ahead and win this race eventually. I told you I would win, and guess what? We got a new circuit race! Hooray! Now, here's a word of advice for you guys. Don't let the opponent use the drafting ability, because the opponent would easily win, thus making it an unfair advantage. Yeah. Next up is Radiator Springs Grand Prix Circuit. No. Next up is Tailfin Pass Circuit. Radiator Springs Grand Prix Circuit is locked. What color should we pick? Ferrari yellow. If you want to be the best, you gotta be the best. Keep trying, chick, and maybe someday you will, but not today. Come on, tough guy. Let's do this right here, right now. Okay, no problem. Watch out for the cactus. Because you'll get hit by lightning! Ka-chow! Don't let Chick Hicks win the race. Because he doesn't play fair. No, he doesn't. He plays dirty, man. Alright, let's jump cut ahead. Alright, next up is the Piston Cup. Already? Well, I have a feeling that this is going to be a very short game. And it takes place in Sun Valley International Raceway. Ready when you are, buddy. Cross Country Mac has got your back. Yeah, that's my best John Ratzenberger impression. It's the best I can do. It's not the best. Alright. Let's get ready to rumble! Hey, what up, Lightning? Looks like you got a fat chance of winning. Looks like you have a problem. I got no problem. Oh, yes, you do. Yeah, I had to bring up the Steel reference. Alright, let's jump cut ahead. Alright, we won. And for those of you who don't know what Steel is it's a really bad movie that is said to be the death of comic book movies. And it stars Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah. Why'd they have to put Shaq in a movie? 2 movies nonetheless. He was also in Kazam, a movie that is about a rapping genie. I'm not making that up, and he also had a rap career. The reason why I think he had both of those things is because, well, he was famous and people were liking him. Well, just because you're a famous athlete, like a basketball player or a boxer, doesn't mean that you can have a good acting career. Unless if it's a movie that relates to the athletic career you have. Alright, next up is the final circuit race in the game before the last race in the game. The Radiator Springs Grand Prix Circuit. Alright, let's race on good old Radiator Springs. Fasten your seatbelts because this is gonna be a wild ride. Hey, what's that red light flashing in there for? It means you live on camera. I'm on the TV? Woohoo! I gotta call the relatives. Okay, lean back, son, so we can start this thing. Yeah, sorry about my Darryl Waltrip impression. It's not the greatest. But you know what would have been cool if in Cars 3, Darryl Waltrip's brother named Michael Waltrip showed up as a as like a Cars version of him called Michael Cartrip, and he would appear as the number 55 Toyota Camry. Because why? Well, number 55 is more famous than number 15 because of the song, I Can't Drive 55. Oops, sorry. Welcome to the charming little town of Radiator Springs, my hometown. For the first annual Radiator Springs Grand Prix, expect some wide open off-road action today as the rivalry between Lightning McQueen and Chick Hicks really heats up. He's the ugly green car with the mustache, right? And the cars are lining up at the starting line now. Boy, this here is gonna be some kind of fun. Okay, folks, let's go racing. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. I had to get that out of the way, because that's what he usually says before a NASCAR race begins. I like it. It's one of my favorite sayings of all time. Alright, let's jump cut ahead. Alright. We go up to the final race in the game. The final Piston Cup race. And before I show it to you, I gotta show you the, wait, those are just, screenshots. There's no option to, show the cutscenes. Nope, there isn't. In fact, why is there no option to show the cutscenes? Most of the WarioWare games that I've played has an option to like show the cutscenes if you have already beaten story mode. Not here though. Alright. Let's go up to the final race in the game. Taking place in Los Angeles Motor Speedway, which is supposed to be like a reference to the California Speedway. Another track that is also known for having IndyCar races. I think they've also had like, let's pause this for a bit. I think they also had like they used to have like Kart World Series races or Champ Car races. Yeah. Oh, and there's another thing that I want to see. I would like to see Penny Krygor racing around in a Reynard Champ car that is powered by a Mercedes-Benz engine. Because why not? It's a shame that that the Champ Car series just ended. In 2003, the Champ Car series had no engine manufacturers other than Ford, thus renaming themselves to Bridgestone presents Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. And of course, in 2007, they eventually gotten a new chassis manufactured by Panos to replace the aging Lola chassis. And the engines were, they were just branded by Cosworth. 2007 was the last season of the Champ Car World Series. The last time the Champ Cars race was in an IndyCar race taking place in Long Beach. Oh, and here's an interesting fun fact for you. Did you know that Judd or Zytek, I can't remember that, or what kind of like British engine manufacturer was originally going to make engines in the Champ Car World Series branded by MG. The reason why they thought of doing this is so that Ford wouldn't be the only engine manufacturer in the Champ Car World Series. But this plan never came into fruition. Alright, we've pretty much beaten the game. That's it. And, well, I've already won that race. So the cutscenes were already gone. Nope, there's still no feature to show the cutscenes. Alright, let's show off the end credits. Faster than fast, quicker than quick. I am lightning. Alright, so usually I would say, so in conclusion, to end the video, but this time I'm not gonna do it. Because, well, this time, because I want it to be like a different kind of ending. Alright, so, yeah. What do I think about cars for the Game Boy Advance? Well, yeah, I said earlier that was just an average game. Well, actually, it's, well, it's not even below average. It has, like, doesn't have the best driving controls because they went for, like, that isometric angle. In fact, why couldn't they, like, use the same style of gameplay as the F-Zero games, or even, like, Outrun style gameplay, or take notes from GT Advance? Yeah, instead of having to use that isometric angle. But it does get some points for having like graphics that are pretty tight for Game Boy Advance standards, because of it being released late in the Game Boy Advance's lifespan, and it also gets points for having a Mac, the character that is voiced by John Ratzenberger. But that was an unexpected jump cut. The camera just ran out of juice. Yeah, what I'm trying to say here is that the camera, the battery on my Nikon camera just went dead. So I have to film it on my smartphone, and I had to start the end credits over. Alright, so where were we? Yeah. But as it stands, it's not the best racing game on the Game Boy Advance. Its controls are not the greatest, as mentioned previously. It doesn't have much variety in the paint schemes, though I haven't played any of the other cars yet. But I would assume that they wouldn't have much variety in the paint schemes either. And you only get to play as Lightning McQueen in the story mode. Well, I know Lightning McQueen is good for the kids, and I like Lightning McQueen, but it would have been like cool to play as the other characters. You know, like Sally Carrera, Doc Hudson, Mater, and what's the name of that yellow car again? The yellow Fiat? Oh, yeah, that's right. Luigi! The character that has the same name as Mario's brother. You know, the yellow Fiat, named Luigi. And Guido, the forklift. That of course has the famous quote, "Pit stop." Yeah. I'm gonna give this game a rating of a 4 out of 10. It's below average. there are better racing games on the Game Boy Advance. And to be honest with you, it's just another one of those licensed video games anyway. So that concludes our journey with Cars for the Game Boy Advance. Tune in next time where we're going to a more advanced console. Tune in next Wednesday to see what kind of console we're going to be playing on.